The Sword and the Scoob is the latest direct-to-video movie in the Scooby-Doo franchise, co-directed by Maxwell Atoms, best known for creating the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and Christina Sota, who co-directed Apocalypse War. The film sees the gang travel to England before being sent back in time by an evil sorceress to the medieval era. Before going into this movie, I was actually pretty excited. Grimm is one of my all-time favourite cartoon shows, and the last Scooby-Doo movie that Atoms directed was more than a fun time. Not to mention, Apocalypse War wasn't that bad either. However, as I watched the film, that excitement pretty quickly faded. It was messy to say the least. Here's what I thought worked and what didn't.
I've come seeking knowledge?
So let's start with the story itself. It started pretty strong, but got progressively weaker. The end especially was utter garbage. For one thing, you had this really cool setup where the gang gets sent back in time by a sorceress, and foolishly for a moment, I let myself believe the movie would be getting weird and supernatural. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Because fuck magic, we can't have kids thinking it's real, or something. But wait, then there's this dumb scene at the end of the movie where it turns out the actor playing a wizard was actually a real wizard? If you're not going to commit to excluding magic, then why go that route at all? The movie would have worked a lot better without the twist ending. Plus, they wouldn't have had to reveal that my crush from the movie had a shit haircut. That shit hurted. There were also some other weird inconsistencies, like you have Velma taking this staunch anti-magic stance, and yet you have this scene where we see flashbacks that are from older incarnations of Scooby-Doo, including Mystery Inc., where magic was very much a real thing. If that's canon to this movie, then Velma should definitely not be saying magic isn't real. Listen, I know I shouldn't care that much about canon when it comes to Scooby-Doo, but it was an undeniably weird choice, okay? What's really odd though is showing this scene at all, considering that they didn't even go back in time. It makes absolutely no sense. Interestingly, there were even more references to Mystery Incorporated, like how the gang are from Crystal Cove like in the last movie. Also, Fred says his dad is mean, which I'm pretty sure is also one. Cool, I guess, but I was also reminded that Scooby-Doo can do better. Like, can we get a Mystery Incorporated Season 3 instead of whatever this crap is?
It's horrible!
The movie was in this art style, which, simply put, was fucking shite. The characters were especially pasty this time around for some reason, while their faces often looked off or were just flat out ugly. With that being said, the animation itself was certainly more than serviceable, at times impressive. The scene on the plane at the start of the movie looked like it had a lot of effort put into it, so yeah, I have no real qualms in the animation department. The jokes, on the other hand, were kind of a mixed bag. Some really hit, while most unfortunately missed. For the most part, it was just the standard cheese you can expect from Scooby-Doo. What was especially frustrating though was when there really would be a pretty clever joke, but then the movie would point it out and explain it to you like you're an idiot, which totally killed it. That sucked.
What do you know? The book was right. This is a great hiding place.
Daphne had this really fucking funny running gag where she kept saying the world is a simulation. She's kind of become the weird, quirky one of the group ever since Be Cool, but toned the fuck down, and I kind of like this characterization of her. Speaking of the characters, I thought that some of the new ones introduced in this movie were pretty fun and interesting. My favourite was definitely King Arthur. I'm really into lovable jerks, both because they're entertaining, but mostly because they're hot as hell. Not to mention those abs. Those abs are movie saving.
I'd know those abs anywhere.
He had the funniest lines of the movie, and he was all around just very enjoyable. I also thought that the sorceress had a really awesome design. She wasn't really anything special as a villain, but she was as good as a cliche evil sorceress archetype can be. I thought she was cool. If we're talking about character designs though, the highlight has to be the Black Knight, who just looked sick as hell. I don't know why they went absolutely ham on him specifically, since he appears for like 2 seconds, but oh man, I love him. Edgy armor dudes are the coolest. What I was less fond of is the fact that Velma felt significantly dumbed down in this movie. She was really quick to believe in time travel because science, which didn't really suit her when she's usually so skeptical, but that was excusable. What was really odd is that she thought that she and the gang were being erased from history because her phone's picture was fading, only for it to turn out that the reason her phone was fading is because of her battery dying.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
And that pretty much sums up what I liked and didn't like about The Sword and the Scoob. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more animation reviews, and feel free to comment with your thoughts on the movie down below. See you next time.